Hello YouTube, welcome again to my channel. I'm Prometea, you're watching Tyrannosaurus Girl, and as promised today I'm going to show you my updated technique for covering beard shadow while still achieving a natural look. Now before we get into that, there are two things that I wanted to share with you. The first one, it's that we are at 99 subscribers right now, and that makes me really happy. I'm really grateful for all of you who have subscribed to this channel and who are supporting me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing it so now. Now you may say, how come you have 99 subscribers when I only see 35 here? And that's because I make these videos in 3 languages and I post them in 3 separate channels: Portuguese, Spanish and English, and the combined amount right now it's 99. Now in the whole scale of YouTube it's not a big number, but for me it means a lot, so thank you. And the other thing is that, as I mentioned the other day, last Thursday I had my appointment with a general practitioner in order to get my referral to the gender clinic, and I got that and went really well. Sometimes it's hard to obtain, but this doctor was really nice. I want to give a shout out to Dr. Pia Ågren and Kobo Helsen, that's the name of the clinic. She was really nice. She admitted that she didn't know how transgender related care worked here, but she asked me and she allowed me to explain and to tell her exactly what it was that I needed from her, and she took notes so that if she had another transgender patient in the future she would already know what was expected from her. And she even made a note both in my file in the clinic and also in the referral to make sure that I'm called only by my true name, not by the name that still appears on my ID. But now let's get on with this makeup tutorial. The same as last time, what we're trying to achieve here is not a heavy look, it's more like a daytime look. It's what I do every day, really. So we're going to begin with a prime. I use Lancome La Base Pro Pore Eraser. So you're going to put just a little bit on your finger and apply it onto your face. Now this step is actually optional because it is expensive. For some reason cheaper brands like Maybelline, which I'm using a lot lately, or other drugstore brands don't seem to sell this, at least not here. I haven't seen them, so you have to go to one of the premium brands like Lancome or L'Oreal or the like. So it is going to cost some money, but it does make an amazing difference for me. I don't wear it every day, mind you, but when I do, I can see the difference. The skin feels smoother, it looks smoother also, and especially on the chin area, and also it helps the makeup stay on for longer, so that's a big plus. But anyway, if you find it expensive, if you don't want to buy it, or if you can't buy it, just don't. It won't be the end of the world for you. Now when I do my makeup I usually wipe each product off of my fingers in between steps. Now we're going to begin with the actual cover-up. What I'm using now is red lipstick. You can use red or orange depending on the shade of your beard shadow. It's going to be either red or orange depending. If your beard shadow is more like blue, then you would go for orange. If it's kind of greenish like mine, then you use red. You have to go to the opposite in the color wheel. You just draw some lines in there. You are not going to paint your whole face red with this. I've seen that some other people do it, and actually someone commented on the previous video where I talked about this, and she said that she didn't have a beard shadow, but some drag queens she knew would just use orange lipstick. And the other thing, that the orange lipstick thing and painting yourself completely orange or completely red is more of a drag queen's thing, and there is a difference because it's stage makeup, so it has to be heavier and thicker because they are going to be under heavy hot lights, and also because since they are on a stage, they're not going to be looked at from very close. But as you see, I'm not going for completely red here, I'm more like reddened, and I think I actually went a bit too heavy today. You don't want to go too heavy because you will also need to cover this up, so if this is too dark or too strong, then you're going to need more of the other products in order to cover this up, and that's not what we are going for. We're going for a light, natural look. Now for the next step, we're going to use concealer. What I'm using now is Maybelline Cover Stick. Whatever exact brand you use, it should be a bit darker than your skin color. It shouldn't be the same concealer that you use for your under eyes, for example. And you also want to just draw a few lines heavier than what you did with the lipstick. The reason why I'm using this particular brand is that I found that it works very well, even better than other concealers from the same maker, from Maybelline also. So it has to be a thick concealer, a stick, and with a thick creamy texture. Now we just very lightly, as you can see, I'm using these two fingers because I'm able to apply very light pressure, like I'm hardly applying any pressure at all. I try not to spread the red around, but more like to spread the concealer over the red. Very lightly, take your time doing this, there is no hurry. So as you can see, because I was talking to you and applying the lipstick at the same time, I went a bit too heavy on the red, so it looks redder than normal. Usually at this point you want it to be as closer to your skin color as possible. My skin is naturally kind of red, but not so red. I'm not a professional, I'm not perfect at this, and I still manage to pull it off every day, even when this happens. And now comes the foundation. I use Maybelline Fit Me foundation. For this step you want to go with a regular foundation that matches your skin color. I prefer this. I have switched from the stick foundation, also by Maybelline, to this one. Mostly out of need, because they don't sell the stick foundation here in Sweden, but I've discovered that this one works extremely well and also much better than the stick foundation. And by using this beauty here, the beauty blender, I'm able to get good coverage with much less makeup, and it does look lighter. Whatever foundation you use, it has to be one with good coverage, regardless of the brand. One thing that a liquid foundation applied with a beauty blender allows me to do is that I can get a sort of translucent look. So you can see the difference with my neck here, how it's not really that much. And even though I went heavy on the red, but because it allows me to get this kind of translucent look. You can see a bit of the red through, and that's normal. That means that you're alive. If you watch those videos where they do 100 layers of foundation, they look really freaky with the 100 layers of foundation on, and the reason is because it doesn't look like skin. So if you see a little bit of red through, kind of like if there were veins with blood flowing underneath the surface of the skin, then that's going to look natural, and that's what we're trying to do. A bit on the ears also, so that it doesn't look like we're wearing a mask. And on the neck if you feel it's necessary, to make the transition appear smoother and not make it so obvious. Now that I'm done with the foundation, I'm going to go ahead and apply my translucent powder. And the powder that I'm using is by Kix, a local chain here. Now, this is also something that some of the budget brands don't sell, and I find it odd because it's really good. I used to wear a regular face powder, the color type, but it's much harder because you need to match your foundation with your skin color and then make sure that the powder doesn't set that off, doesn't give you a weird color once you apply that. And this, because it's translucent, obviously it doesn't add any color, it just seals the makeup in, and my mouth too. Takes off that shiny edge that liquid foundation can have, so that it looks more like skin. It can be a bit messy. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply my eyeliner. I don't always wear eyeliner because I'm clumsy and I don't know how to apply it very well. But with this little trick that I have, it works a bit better. I'm using actually eyeshadow as eyeliner. I'm using the Vogue brand also, which is this Chilean brand. It may not be available where you are, but it's easily replaceable. And I'm actually applying it with a brush. This is an eyeliner brush that I mess with it a bit. I ruffled its hairs a little bit so that it's not as precise. That way I can get this kind of fuzzy look to my eyeliner, so that any small imprecisions are not as obvious. And of course, if you screw it up, you can just wipe it off easily with one of those, I forgot the word, those sticks with cotton at the end that you use to clean your ears. And now we're going with the mascara. I'm using Maybelline Classic Volume Express mascara. And last but not least, some Vogue Super Fantastic Plum Color lipstick. And well, that's it. That's my makeup routine for covering my beard shadow. As you can see, the result is pretty good. It looks quite natural. If you want even a more subdued look, of course, you can use a different lipstick color and go later in the eyeliner. But what I wanted to show you was mostly the technique. So I hope that it has been helpful, that you have learned something from this video. If you're already subscribed to the channel, thank you very much for your support. If you're new to this channel, please go check out the rest of my videos and consider subscribing. Leave me your comments, your suggestions and your questions that I will answer to the best of my abilities, either here in the comments or through Tumblr, Facebook, Twitter or Ask FM. And well, see you next week. Bye bye!